Pundits and analysts alike are increasingly looking at Wisconsin as a bellwether for the 2024 elections nationwide.
Earlier this month, Judge Janet Protasewicz defeated her conservative opponent and won a seat on Wisconsin's Supreme Court. The victory upended the court's ideological balance by giving liberals control for the first time in 15 years, with major implications for abortion rights, voting rights, and gerrymandering. Many Democrats in Wisconsin and across the nation described the race as the most important race in the country this year. And joining us now, Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler. It's really good to have you on the show. And this is such an incredible turn of events.
It really is. You know, I remember back in 2007, 2008, after Barack Obama got elected, a lot of commentary about how all the leaders for the Republican Party were from the Deep South, all of them, and they or Texas, and they talked about needing to go to states like Wisconsin. That's exactly what they did. They focused on Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. It paid off, but now the tide is turning. It turned in Michigan, and Wisconsin has for the past several years been the bellwether. What happened in this Supreme Court election that, like the Kansas referendum, was supposed to be close but ended up a blowout?
So I think the core of Wisconsin is that it's a 50-50 state. It is the most purple state. 4 of the last 6 presidential elections came down to less than 1 percentage point. And Republicans rigged it. They gerrymandered the map so much. They suppressed voting rights. They made it so they smashed unions, all these different things to ensure Republicans would win, and then chose policies that were incredibly unpopular. The abortion ban from 1849 is the prime example. No exceptions.
All right, so hold on. Let me write this down because I haven't been in politics for a while.
You gotta really
but hold
take your
on.
time here. You've got to go slow for
total abortion ban written when Zachary Taylor was president.
Very good.
Bad. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Not a winner.
Not a winner.
And they rigged the.
By the way, come on.
Zachary Taylor.
How clueless.
He's good.
Yeah,
how clueless did they have to be? Again, they knew by looking at what happened in other states, they knew a total ban was bad. The Wall Street Journal, Ann Coulter, you name it. People on the right were saying, wake up, Republicans, you're destroying your party.
They are beholden to the most extreme faction, not just of their base, but also of their mega donor base. The biggest Republican donor in America is Dick and Liz Uihlein, this mega Republican power couple. They funded millions, like many, many millions of dollars into Ron Johnson's campaign, along with Diane Hendricks, the other Wisconsin mega Republican donor. And those same donors funded, I think, probably $10 million in independent expenditures in the Supreme Court race. And they are so far to the right. They are backing groups that support the 1849 ban. They supported the January 6th insurrection. To alienate them is to torch yourself if you're a major Republican candidate in Wisconsin, and they will accept no compromise whatsoever. And so they're essentially tied to the mast as their ship crashes into the rocks.
Wow.
And the public doesn't like it. So this pent-up rage about this abortion ban and the fact that you can't change state policy because the maps are completely rigged poured itself into the Supreme Court race.
By the way, we talk about rigged. I mean, they are the most gerrymandered maps in America by far, Eddie.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got the extremism of the current MAGA wing of the Republican Party, but is this also a consequence of perhaps the overreach of Scott Walker from 2011 to 2019? So that's one question I would love for you to address. Is this in some ways the enduring impact of that particular period in Wisconsin?
Yes.
And the second question, just really quick, I want to get in real quick. Tell me what you guys did at University of Wisconsin-Madison. And all of these young folk who came out and did amazing things turned out in extraordinary numbers. So give me those.
Okay, 2 of my favorite subjects.
Okay.
I'll take the second one first. Student turnout was through the roof. And when you look at a spring election for a judicial race, you think this is only older voters.
Absolutely.
You can just write off the youth vote.
Kids don't even know it exists usually.
That is usually the case. Not this time. We saw campus wards with numbers that exceeded the 2022 midterm turnout. And this isn't just UW-Madison.
Exactly.
And it was UW-Madison, but also UW-Eau Claire, Green Bay. I mean, all over the state, students flooded to the polls.
What got them there?
So a combination of 2 things. One is the abortion ban, which is so personal
It's
and
visceral.
infuriating.
Yeah.
The second thing is a massive investment
By the
in
way,
youth
can I just
organizing
stop on that
communication.
first?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I say this as a guy whose family is Republican. So many voted for Trump, pro-life. Even students, even younger people who call themselves pro-life, people who've called themselves pro-life their entire life politically, are so offended by what they've seen, the radicalism of state legislatures, that even those people are saying, I've got to go out and vote against this. It's incredible.
Absolutely right. And just to underscore that, there are OBGYNs that are leaving the state right now. You can't finish training to become an OBGYN in Wisconsin
Right.
without
No
leaving
way.
the state to get training, because the standard of care in miscarriages is abortion.
Right.
Which this ban, which from 1849 passed before the invention of modern medicine, it doesn't differentiate the reason for an abortion. I mean, it is come from another age, and yet the Republican Party, when the Governor Evers called on the state legislature to hold a special session to repeal it, they flatly refused. The governor asked for a referendum process so the public could decide. Republicans flatly refused. Now Governor Evers and Attorney General Call are suing to strike it down, and the public knows that lawsuit will go to the Supreme Court. But the thing is, let's say we win. The Supreme Court strikes down the abortion ban. Then the question is, will Republicans, Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, Republicans in the House and Senate, pass a national abortion ban? And it's pretty clear that is their brand promise.
I tell you what,
Wow.
Claire McCaskill has those questions.
Yeah, she's-
Claire, it's fascinating what's happening with Donald Trump politically. First of all, Trump was the one freaking out when the Dobbs ruling leaked early and was telling everyone who would listen this is going to be a disaster. Trump was then the person who blamed pro-lifers for losing the 22 election. Of course, now he's attacking on the Disney front. But it is very interesting what's happening in the Republican primary. Everybody's running around in circles because I'll tell you what, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, possibly the most consequential political thing over the last 20, 25 years.
Yeah, and Republican operatives know they have trouble if young people show up and vote. And that's what I really would like to talk to our friend from Wisconsin about. Not only did they all vote in this election, there was a massive organization of them. And I think you have created a blueprint for the Democratic Party in 24, because young people do not get any of this they're doing on guns, on abortion, on climate. So let's talk about your candidate. I was heartbroken that Ron Johnson was reelected in a state that has no business being represented by a guy like that. And I know from serving with Ron Johnson how bad it really is. So let's talk about Tammy Baldwin. Hard worker. She is not somebody who seeks the limelight. She just works really hard for Wisconsin. How is that going? Who is her opponent going to be? And what can everyone do to help Tammy?
Tammy is so wonderful. And I will tell you, when I was in high school, she ran for Congress for the first time in a crowded primary field. The morning after she won, the headline in the local paper was Youthquake. Because I and so many people I knew, University of Wisconsin students, so many young people had gotten involved and have stuck with her generation after generation. People in Wisconsin know she's on their side. And anyone who wants to help her can donate to her campaign, to the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, can volunteer. Our kind of secret sauce is that we work all the time. We organize year-round. We organize in every community across Wisconsin, across gender, geography, generation, race, ethnicity, everywhere, all year long, in local races and in statewide races. And that means that when you get an election like we saw this spring, we have the whole organizing machine, grassroots groups, youth-led groups, and the party organization all ready to go. We need to do the same thing for 2024. We will absolutely be doing that for Tammy Baldwin. But everywhere in the country, if you're in a battleground state or a state where you need to win some House races, start now. Don't wait. Don't wait until the fall of 2024 to get your act together.
Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. Fascinating conversation and
really
fascinating developments in your state.